All right, as we continue, we have a new intersection where blockchain meets music. The title of the next talk is How Music Artists Can Teach Crypto About Community Building. This should be pretty interesting. Please put your hands together of the founder of TokenTraxx, Tommy D.
Hello everybody, how we doing? You woken up yet? Have you woken up yet? Come on. Right. Big shout out to Erhan and the Blockdown team for putting together, I think, what is by far the best looking Web3 conference I've ever been to. What do you think, right? It's great, right? So this is me, Tommy D, and this is my QR code, which you can find me on. And this is called Know Your Fans. And the reason why I called it Know Your Fans is because, to be honest with you, that's what every business needs to understand, is who their fans are. But who am I, right? Okay, so I am Tommy D. I am a music producer, a songwriter, a DJ, I'm a whiskey maker, and I'm also now, as of 2020, a tech entrepreneur. This is some of the things I've done in my life. I've had a pretty colorful, amazing life, and I'm truly honored to have been in music all my life. I worked with people like Kanye West and Jay-Z and Michael Jackson, Kylie Minogue, Mark Ronson, blah, 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 blah. Done loads of shows, built communities around artists, presented TV, signed to major labels all my life as an artist and also as a songwriter. So I understand the major label, like, whole concept of what the major label is. In 2020, I founded TokenTraxx. The reason why I founded TokenTraxx is because I have been in the music industry for so long, and because I understand the industry so long, I could see what was coming down the line. I fell into crypto in 2016. Actually, I sort of understood or got to hear about Bitcoin back in 2020, but really understood it in 2016. I fell down the rabbit hole, like I'm sure like so many of you do. And what really hit me hard was Bitcoin and the concept of decentralization, because once you understand that concept of decentralization, you realize it's that blue pill, red pill moment. You go, oh my God, you know, the world I live in, it's full of systems. And of course, the system of the music business really is what I understood. So I founded TokenTraxx to be a music company that would develop new strategies and technology around with using Web3 technology. We predominantly help the music industry integrate into Web3. I've sold 70 million units and had over 5 billion streams. Do you know how much money you make out of 5 billion streams? Not much. And that's why we're going to revolutionize and change the music industry. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does. This is a word we use all the time, isn't it? Community, it's one of those really great Web3 sexy words that's really shit. But really, in the music industry, what's community mean? Community is fans. And the beautiful thing about fandom and the concept of fandom is that it's support. For some unknown reason, I'm not getting a picture up here, but if you did, you'd see a lovely picture of Kurt Cobain being held up by all his fans, because that's what the people in the music industry and the people in music do. We love music. We lose our shit to music, right? Right? We lose our shit. We go crazy when we're at gigs. It's one of the few places in the world where we really lose it. And that's why music is so unbelievably powerful. Who loves Snoop Dogg, right? Hands up, we love Snoop Dogg. We all love Snoop Dogg, right? This is Snoop Dogg's Spotify page. Not a particularly glamorous one. The interesting thing I'm going to point out, though, is this number down the bottom here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger for you. 30 million, just over 30 million monthly listeners. What's a monthly listener? Monthly listeners are not the same as streams, okay? Because they are unique people that listen to Snoop at least once a month. One unique listener is the same as someone who continuously plays the tracks. So unique listeners, or monthly listeners rather, are really important because they help us in the industry understand a whole global concept around what fandom. But we know, don't we, that those fans are not the same all the way through. For example, The Weeknd has 106 million monthly listeners. Well, there's not 106 million monthly people going to his gigs, is there? About 80% of the artists on Spotify currently have fewer than 50 monthly listeners. In fact, 65% of the music that's on Spotify will never get listened to at all. So that gives you an indication of where the problems lie. And this is just going to get worse with AI. So let's see, it's been cut off here. How do we break down Snoop's fan base, that 30 plus million people? Okay, the interesting thing, I'm going to break it down nice and simple for you, okay? Here's 5 categories. The first one is we listen to Snoop, but we do not attend a concert. The vast majority of people, I'm sure, who's actually been to a Snoop gig in here? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6, 7 people, right? But you all listen to Snoop, right? So 75% of that 30-odd million we can lose for the minute. The next one is they've been to 1 concert, 17%. Next one is 3 concerts. Now, why are concerts important? Because concerts are utilizing the 2 commodities that we all have that are most valuable to us. The first one is money, of course. We spend our own money. We make a lot of money, and it's really difficult. We need to work out where we're going to spend it. The second one is time. Money and time are your 2 most valuable commodities. Where you put your money, where you put your time. By going to concerts, you're actually spending time and money more so than just listening to it. So the more concerts you go to, the more valuable it is. 3 concerts and merch, roughly looking at around about 2%. And the golden one is this last one. Loads of gigs, loads of merch, even camping outside Snoop's hotel or whatever. That 1% is the absolute crucial. So when you're thinking about your own business, you're thinking about your community, your fans, you're thinking about who do I get to, actually what you want to do is get to that one there. You want to get to those people there. It's a bit grayed out. That 1%. In Snoop's case, that is equal to 900,000 people. So immediately I've gone down from 30 plus million to 900,000, which makes it a lot more manageable to understand. Now, why is that important? In the music industry, that bottom 3% generate over 60% of an artist's income. That's right, 60% of an artist's income are coming from that 3%. So actually, if we can get somewhere closer to maybe 5 or 6%, we can almost double an artist's income overnight. And I'm going to show you examples of how that has actually happened. But the important thing about that is these people, loads of gigs, even the 3 concerts they bought merch in, they're bringing something incredibly important to you. And what is that? They are bringing value. And that is a crucial word that we all need to think about. What is the value that we are bringing to our customers, to our fans, to our community? Whatever you want to call it, what value are you bringing to them? Okay, this is how we do it in the music business. We look at engaged behavior. Engaged behavior is things that people might want. When people come to us at TokenTraxx and they say, I want to do some drops or I want to do, or brands come to us, we always say, what are your assets? What are you selling? What's value? What's valuable to your community, to your fans, to your customers? Here's a good example of some of the things that people in the music industry, I'll move over here so you can read it properly, some of the things in the music industry that people really, really love. Going to gigs, private gigs, stage clothes, set lists, merchandise, limited edition merch, meet and greets, attending the sound check, box sets, vinyl, color picture vinyl, and so on and so on and so on and so on. These are all valuable assets to people, right? I'm sure every single one of you has actually done at least one of these things with someone that you truly love. Some artist that you would go that little extra mile with. Here's a good example of it. So Bruce Springsteen just played at the Hyde Park this week, right? This is the website for the ticket. Now, if we look here, this is the tickets that are available. There is actually, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12 different levels of tickets available, right? Let's look at the Ultimate Diamond VIP experience, this one here, right? This is worth, I think, £2,500, roughly about $3,000. This is what it gives you. All these different things, complimentary bar, you get a lanyard, you get access to the Amex thing, blah, 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 blah. They're all watching the same gig, but the experience is different. When we talk about music NFTs, we don't talk about listening to music. That is covered by Spotify, Apple Music, and the rest of them. You don't need to worry about listening to music. It's a great service, I was in a club last night and I pressed my Shazam and I was this great track and I was like, this is really cool. I shared it with a mate of mine back in London. He said, have you heard this? That's a great experience. No, what we talk about is this, experiences. So when you're building your community and whatever it is you need, you look at your assets and then you look at who's going to like them, who's going to get vibe off of this. Let's look at how this is working in music. So this is Violetta. Here's some of the amazing things that Violetta has done. She only has 25,000 listeners, but she's released 2 NFT collections. Owners get access to all different types of stuff. Combinations of different NFTs trigger different stuff. She's generated over 440 ETH in sales. That's equivalent to 288 million streams on Spotify. But the interesting number is this one, 500,000 income from her fans. Now, I've been a fan of a lot of music over the last 30 years, but I've never made any money out of any of the artists that I've loved. I've made more money out of trading Violetta's NFTs in the last year and a half than I ever did out of the music that I love. That's an important number. And look at this, 1,500 community members. That's 5 times more than the 1% of Snoops that I pointed out to Snoop. So much bigger engagement with the fan base. Remember what I said about doubling that up? Creating a much bigger pool of people who are engaged. They're going to be out there fighting for Violetta. Let's look at another one. This is Josh Savage. Josh is playing at the TokenTraxx stage from 5 o'clock tonight. We're all going to be out there. It's going to be great. It's an amazing collection of artists. This is Josh. Same kind of story. 21 monthly listeners, amazing NFT collections. Again, owners get perks, they get assets, they get amazing stuff. He's generated over 80 ETH, which is equivalent to 50 million streams. Again, over 300,000 income. This is Daniel Allen. Daniel Allen's probably one of the most successful NFT artists out there. Daniel's done loads of stuff. He's a bit more popular on Spotify because he's a bit more active in that world. He crowdfunded his EP, he's put out loads of collections. He's also interestingly raised over £1 million in a seed round for Daniel Allen Entertainment. He turned himself into a startup. Really interesting. Now, why is all this fundamentally important? This is fundamentally important because of the basic principle about what I believe in and why I built TokenTraxx, which is decentralization. The problem what we are doing is we are running back into this world. We're running, the world that we're running away from, Spotify, Amazon, whatever, well, we're just running into the same world again. Here we see OpenSea shut down our creator royalties. The thing that I thought was so brilliant about NFTs was that we got royalties in perpetuity. Amazing. So if this is where we're going, I don't want any of this. So what does TokenTraxx do? Well, we have 3 pillars, basically. We are a Web3 advisory. We help the music industry understand how the Web3 technology can integrate into that. We have our own marketplace, but our own marketplace is like a sandpit of fun, where artists and creative people come, try out different things. We explain, we show them examples like I just did. We talk about all the different things that are available to them. And then our most important thing is the Traxx Studio. The Traxx Studio is, as I said earlier, a decentralization as a service. So Traxx Studio is a fully decentralized marketplace. You own it. It's your technology. It's fully customizable. You can make it look and feel any way you like. It's got Polygon, Ethereum, Bitcoin, just recently, first music marketplace to ever feature Bitcoin, and Zilliqa. It has custodial and non-custodial wallets. It has credit card integration, Google and Apple Pay. So when we created an ecosystem for the music industry, what we realized is that there was a really good, strong way of doing it, which is take that engaged behavior I talked about before and put it behind token-gated areas. So TokenTraxx has its own token-gated area. You can come on as a crypto newbie, you can buy with your credit card, you get a wallet automatically addressed to it. It's on Polygon, so it's low gas, or it's on Zilliqa, it's low gas. And then you go straight to your gated area and you immediately interact with the artist. This is immediate, direct way of working. We saw the guys from McLaren talking about this. Why do we call it the Traxx Studio? As I said, it's a network of decentralized and connected marketplaces. Why do we call it Traxx Studio? I'm not sure this is going to work, but let's see. Oh, yeah, it is. Why do we call it the Traxx Studio? We call it the Traxx Studio. I've spent my life in a recording studio. In fact, this is an example. This is a session I was on the other day with an artist called Tom Grennan. Here I am. in the studio. I love the studio. It's a brilliant place. It's a creative place. It's full of technology that I can play around with and explore. That's why we call it the Traxx Studio, because it's the modern day version of a studio. And as I said, fully decentralized, fully amazing. We're giving it to artists. We have about 50 Traxx studios in development at the moment with different artists. We have labels, we have publishing companies, we have 2 music charities, we have a bunch of venues, we have radio stations, NTS being one of them, and also we are talking to the major labels about integrating Traxx Studio into all of their artists. Traxx Studio is underpinned by our very own Traxx token. The Traxx token is available, and we raised a bunch of money against that. These are all different things that you can do. So that just leaves me to say thank you very much to Blockdown. These are TokenTraxx's QR codes, and my QR code again if you missed it the first time. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Tommy Danvers. I run and have been hosting the longest running regular Web3 music Twitter space since October 21, every Monday at 6 p.m. UK time. You're all welcome. Thank you. Shout out to my brother Bacon over there. Have a great time. We are running the stage out there from 5 p.m. We got an amazing bunch of different artists. Josh Savage, who you saw earlier, Alice, Emma Miller, Elsie the Alchemist, Sound of Fractures, me and Sarah Main are DJing on the other stage later on tonight. I expect you all to be there and all to be suitably drunk. Have a brilliant time. Big respect. Thank you very much.